Hello and welcome to BoomCast. I am your host, Sam.
And I'm Peter Rogos.
And this is a fireworks chat with Spirit of 76.
Welcome, guys. We're excited to be debuting our official first episode.
This is kind of how a lot of our podcasts are going to go, but we'll also be traveling to all kinds of places. And speaking of travel, we just recently got back from a couple-week trip to Italy.
Yeah, that was super cool. Incredible trip to go visit a couple of our suppliers. First one being Giuliani Fireworks, who's a maker of some incredible products in Italy. They are the makers of our 76 Pro Line ITALIA line that debuted last year. So we went out there to visit them, create some marketing content, do some interviews, do some quality control. It was a really, really interesting trip.
That's right. So yeah, this episode is all about Giuliani Fireworks.
The customer take a Giuliani product and is proud because he knows that using this product can do a show different from the standard product. This is the purpose since many years, and it will be the same for next year too.
Peter, you already kind of touched on it, but do you want to talk about why we decided to partner with Giuliani Fireworks in the first place?
Yeah, so Giuliani Fireworks came up originally in 2020. I was working with Spirit of 76 on some side projects, and we were running into problems industry-wide with sourcing Proline items. 1.4G professional use only, UN 0341 classification, and now the UN 0336 classification exists. Anyways, there was trouble finding those products in China due to regulatory changes on the China end. Some of those products they can no longer export legally. So while the classification exists here in the United States, it doesn't exist on that end. So complicated things, plus factories were going through some trouble getting permits and moving forward. So there were a lot of delays. So we thought, why don't we diversify our supply chain a little bit? And we started looking at alternative places. I had some colleagues from the Italian fireworks industry, and I spoke to them about where to source really good products, and they came up with Giuliani Fireworks. So Giuliani is a factory in Tofia, Italy, which is about an hour and a half outside of Rome, northeast of Rome. A beautiful landscape, a beautiful place, and they're actually a fifth generation fireworks factory. They've been there for over 100 years producing some of the best fireworks in the world. Italian culture is very steeped in artistry and dedication to whatever craft you do. And in this case, Marco Giuliani, the owner of Giuliani Fireworks, is a craftsman of fireworks, and he's very, very proud of his work. He's carrying on his family legacy, and what you get is small batches of beautiful products, really, really honed in above and beyond quality, really rich colors, very good formulas, very, very, very good attention to detail when building products, very high quality. Like I said, small batch. This isn't like a Chinese factory with high outputs. You're not going to get containers and containers and containers of products. But we can order some really unique custom items. We can order some no debris single shots like we debuted for 76 Pro Line ITALIA. And there's some gorgeous shells we're going to make available here shortly. Purely as a broker, we'll just be representing Giuliani in the United States for people to be able to buy some of their shells.
Yeah, exciting stuff. So our trip, we left, hopped on a flight at like 6 p.m., showed up at 10 a.m. in Italy and went straight to Giuliani's house and facility. They were super accommodating for us, but we were very sleep deprived, but it was a good time. We got to sit down with them, meet the family, and have a really nice home-cooked meal. And that only took like 2 hours, right, Peter?
Yeah, it was a heck of an experience. We thought, hey, it's our first podcast episode. We'll come in here, we'll roll in. This is not going to take more than 45 minutes. By the time we set all the equipment up and then had a conversation with Marco and his family, with translators, of course, because Marco and his family actually do not speak English, it ended up being closer to 2 hours worth of interviews. So luckily, they were very hospitable. Like you said, we were in their family home, very traditional Italian multi-generational home in the village that they grew up in, where the factory is. And it was really nice. They make you feel very much at home and like you're part of the family. And you can definitely see their passion coming through.
Welcome, both of you, to the podcast. Here speaking with Marco Giuliani and his colleague Corrado. So Giuliani Fireworks has been operating for 5 generations. I would like to know how your ancestors got involved in fireworks.
Dall'inizio del Novecento facevano fuochi d'artificio qui in questo piccolo.
So in the beginning of 1900, his grandfather started with this business. All the ancestor tradition were coming from his grandfather just to his mother, and then his mother gave it to Marco, the brand and the company, many years ago.
Where are your facilities located?
There are 2 mainly factories. One is here in Tofia, and the other one is in Belmonte in Sabina, both in Rieti province. So there is a double possibility of production.
So sitting down with them, we were able to learn a lot about their history as a family and their family business. Marco told me they began making fireworks sometime late 19th century, early 20th century. They have deep, deep roots.
His mother is the matriarch of the factory. It came down from his mother's side, so it changed from Marcelli to Giuliani when his father started working at the factory and took over, once he and his mother were married. And then Marco started when he was a toddler there, almost.
Like
he was
an
born
infant.
into it. Yeah, he was born in the fireworks factory.
Then his father took the company, they changed the name in Giuliani, and since 30 years, Marco is driving this company.
And what kind of fireworks did they build at the beginning when the factory was first opened?
I fuochi, diciamo, vecchi fuochi barocchi che andavano.
It was mostly Baroque fireworks, and they were making wheels and theatrical fire, and this is mostly the firework that they were building in the beginning.
You've mentioned that your great-great-grandfather did fireworks for the king. What is the story there?
Allora io
Okay, he wasn't there, so he doesn't remember what happened. And he told that they had very big reference in the area, very close from Rome. Someone suggested to the king in that period to call them to make fireworks, and they made a show. It was very exciting for them.
So yeah, Giuliani Fireworks actually is in the business of manufacturing fireworks. That's their primary role. But they do also have a consumer fireworks sales business in Italy. Their season, I think, is primarily New Year's, but they also have a lot of summer festivals. Italian tradition is very steeped in religious rituals, especially Catholic rituals. And every village has a patron saint. Those villages will have a festival when it's the name day of that particular patron saint. And that's a time when a lot of people go out and shoot fireworks. Sometimes they have a big show in the village. And what kind of fireworks are popular for consumers in Italy?
Cakes, 100 shot, 1.2 inches. This is the most popular. And then fountains, bangles, bangers. A lot of small products are sold. Because small products you can sell everywhere.
I see.
Cakes you can sell only in specialized shops. But fountains, bangles, poppers, and matchcracker you can sell everywhere.
Oh, matchcrackers.
And all the year.
So they do have a consumer fireworks market. From what we understand, it's a little bit of like firecrackers, and then a lot of cakes. The breaks are relatively small, like what we would call our 200-gram cakes, but they have higher limits on the shot counts, so they can have like up to 1,000 shot 200-gram cake. You know, you light one fuse, it's just a couple minute kind of show in a box, what we would call.
And I honestly think that America could take a note from them. They celebrate a lot more, like small, very localized holidays. I think we need to get on that. We need more fireworks holidays.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's nice. It's like every weekend they have an excuse to shoot fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. And then later, we had them outside when they were giving us a facility tour, and I had an opportunity to ask them what fireworks the company is most known for, or what their best sellers were.
We can say that there are 3 products. Roman candles, very precise, very bright, very appreciated. Then the ghost shell is the ghost that changes the color There is a moment where you don't see the color, it's off, and then another color changes and can be done 4 times, for example. And then cylinder shell with butterflies. These are the 3 bestseller and best award product that we are producing.
You know, Marco mentioned his Roman candles. The reason his Roman candles are so good, well, first of all, his inserts for those Roman candles are very good. The comets, the mines, the reports, they're all very good colors, very well made. But more importantly, his entire factory for delays uses spoulettes instead of time fuse. So most Chinese fireworks, if anybody's familiar with the manufacturing of fireworks, uses time fuse, which is just essentially like a big safety fuse, like your green Visco cannon fuse type product, but with a much thicker exterior and a thicker powder train in the middle. And that fuse is designed to burn at a certain rate. And so you cut pieces of it, and that's how you create your delays, whether it's your delay from the shell launch to its burst, or delays between shots in a Roman candle. Marco makes his own spoulettes. So your own spoulette is basically a cardboard tube with black powder pressed to exactly the intervals that you want. So it burns at exactly the rate that you want. And if you see multiples of his Roman candles firing, you'll see that the timing is very precise from the time that the candle starts to the time that it goes out. On top of that, his ghost shells and ghost stars are the best I've ever seen. Sam, you got to see some of those being fired off. Really unique patterns in the sky for some of the shells. And when he told us he had a 10-time color changing star, I just didn't believe him. I thought he was exaggerating, you know, because you'll see that in descriptions, like thousands of flowers or whatever.
Right.
But he shot it, and it did it. He had a 7-color changing 30 millimeter star in a comet, which we do have coming. And he had a 9-time changing 50 millimeter star that is in a single shot, which we also have coming. The precision that he's able to roll those stars, and he measures stars better than anybody else I've seen. He sorts them very carefully. But it takes time. It takes weeks to produce one of those stars, just one, let alone the thousands you'll need for production. So very impressive. And then, of course, cylinder shells. If you're a fan of Italian fireworks, you'll know cylinder shells are right up their alley. He creates some beautiful effects, especially the multi-break cylinder shells, something that you can't really find anywhere else. There's no factories in China that produce them this way. But all the shells are essentially stacked breaks that go off about 50 feet out of the mortar tube. They start bursting, and they burst in different patterns. But because of those spoulettes, they're also beautifully timed, beautiful color saturation in those shells, beautiful patterns. They are all hand spiked. For those that know what spiking is, it's wrapping a cylinder shell in string when you're finished building it to build up its strength so that it bursts with a more even pattern and with more force. I've seen this a lot at special events like a PGI or a Winter Blast or something like that, where you have people making them, but they're one-offs. And Marco's making this for production in a factory. So the fact that you're able to buy this kind of product is really, really cool. I'm happy that he's keeping these traditions alive and making them available.
Same. I'm really excited for everyone to be able to see also the tour that they took us on. That should be up on our YouTube channel, if not by the time you're listening to this, very soon. And they treated us to a small product demo as well. We were just in awe. It was so beautiful. Next, we kind of asked them what distribution was like for them within Italy and also kind of within Europe and surrounding areas.
Italian distribution is very small. Mostly is sold in Europe. France are the best customer. Since 2 years, they export in Emirates, Arabia, Qatar. They made in the opening and the close of the FIFA World Cup of soccer this year. In Dubai, it was shot in Khalifa building, that is the tallest building in the world. And we have other production for German, Romanian, but mostly in Europe. In Italy, only Marco's friends are buying his products, because It's more expensive than the other one. That is a particular product, premium product, and that is used in special shows where product must be different than the Chinese standard product that arrive in quantity.
Are there a lot of fireworks factories in Italy?
There are. I think that more than 100.
Really? And are they producing for the domestic market, or is
Normally they produce for themselves.
so mostly building for their own use? And
Yeah, no,
shows
mostly.
internally? Gotcha.
There is a business, but it's not so big.
And so is Giuliani factory one of the larger producers that actually sells fireworks to other companies?
I think so.
I'd like to know if Giuliani Fireworks have received any awards or notoriety from products or even shows.
Since a few years ago, he started to participate to big show abroad and also in Italy, but almost mostly abroad. He won the first prize in 2019 in Belgium, in Knock. Then he participated and won 2 prizes in Montreal and Ottawa, always in the same years, more or less. But he's very proud of the consideration that his customers are giving to this product that are shooting in the last 2 years. So customers are very happy about these products, and he's very happy about it.
Speaking of those shows, what are some that folks listening should go look up to see some Giuliani fireworks?
Well, very recently, Giuliani's fireworks were featured in the 2022 World Cup, actually. The fireworks for the opening ceremony, as well as the closing trophy ceremony, all of the single shots that were on the rooftops, those are all Giuliani. So actually 76 Pro Line ITALIA, that's same exact product that we're offering to our customers. So we've got more effects coming, a lot of stuff you'll see there. And also a big one is the Burj Khalifa New Year's display, famous display that takes place in Dubai on the tallest skyscraper in the world. They actually shoot quite a bit of single shots and all kinds of crazy effects off the side of the building, and those are actually Giuliani fireworks as well. So those are 2 really cool ones to check out on YouTube. If you Google those, you'll be able to find them pretty easily.
What does it mean to have fireworks from Giuliani?
Beh, sicuramente che commercializzate un prodotto.
People that buy Giuliani fireworks invest in a premium product with color that are more than average brightness. So, and also precision. You can do scenography of shows, really precise, that you cannot do with a standard product. They assure the product that if it opens to 100 meters, it will open 100 meters. If it stays 4 seconds, it will stay 4 seconds. And it will be very, very precise.
And how do you come up with ideas for your products?
There is mostly 2 ways to create new fireworks. Customers want to develop new products because they saw, because they heard, because they want to make something different. They ask, and at the end something different will come out. And then people working on it, not only him, but also the other chemists that work on it, has some ideas, and mostly there are some new colors, some new products, some new effects that can come out.
And what's the quality control process like? Let's say you have a new idea and you're testing it.
Okay, before there is a small written project of what they want to show, and then they start the test. They test the height, they test the opening, they test the chemical process, and when they reach the good product, they close it and they write all the chemical composition. And there is also a work how to put the effects into the shell, because you can have different result according to the way that you put the stars into the shell.
So it's like a recipe. You have a formula for the chemicals and instructions for building all the products. Okay. Those are the secret recipes, of course.
Yeah, no, and this is only in his mind. It's written
Under the bed?
or under the pillow.
Safe.
And what about quality control during production? If you're making, say, 500 pieces of something, do you test random pieces?
They make starting test just to see if the production has been made in a proper way, and when the production is finished, according of the quantity, they try 20 or 30 pieces of samples to control that everything is okay.
We were discussing how high their standards were for their products, and how distinctive their products are. I mean, they mentioned they get inspiration, of course, from other places, but they, and Marco in particular, really likes to have his items refined.
We talked about it a little bit. His ghost or color-changing stars are incredible. The intricate patterns and color changes with the color saturation, I think, is better than anywhere else I've seen as far as production quality. Another big signature item for him is the strobe stars. That was actually the first thing that we saw from his factory were strobes. Very high frequency, very rich strobes. Very, very cool. Certainly you can see those in a show and tell, oh wow, okay, those are outstanding, right? If you don't know about Giuliani, you might not know where they came from, but certainly they would stand out as like, wow, that's actually an effect I haven't seen before. So I think Marco is absolutely right. His products can add a signature touch to a lot of displays that really make them pop and show people effects and quality of effects that they don't usually get with their run-of-the-mill products.
I saw in Facebook and during the summer there was a post where they say, oh, it's easy, you display Giuliani shows, Giuliani shell, it's easy to make a nice show. Mm-hmm. It was written in France, you know. That's nice to hear about it.
Yeah, so as he was saying, that was a French customer, but what they were essentially saying was it's easy to make an amazing show if you have Giuliani Fireworks.
Most definitely, and Marco's also able to make like a custom effect for a lot of his customers too. So, he's got his catalog items, he's got his list of products that he makes available. But if there's like some idea you have or some effect you must have, he'll figure out a way to do it, and he'll make it.
Absolutely. We were like, what can you do? He was like, anything the customer wants, I will find a way. And if you guys have ideas, let me know. He's
truly got a brilliant pyrotechnic mind. Because it's a lot of it is just up there. I mean, obviously he's got all his stuff written down and logged and everything, but in real time you can see him processing, hey, is this possible? And he just kind of like looks around and he's working through the problem and he comes up with a solution, and he can make a sample, that same day, like, here you go, here's what you were talking about. It's really an incredible pyrotechnic mind. Truly one of the best I've seen.
It must run in the family too. For
him. His mom's an incredible cook. Cooking is a lot like making fireworks. So yeah, I think it absolutely does run in the family.
Next, we talked about the town of Tofia, Italy, where Giuliani Fireworks is based.
How big is the town?
È un paese molto piccolo.
It's a small town, less than 1,000 people living there. It's in the countryside of a region that is called Sabina, 50 kilometers from Rome, and the main business was agriculture. Now people are moving toward the town, so there is some people that stay here.
Dimentichiamo anche una cosa, proprio anche dei fuochi d'artificio.
They live about fireworks also. There is a big business of fireworks in Tofia.
And how many people work in the Giuliani factory here in Tofia?
Between both warehouse and factories are 25 people.
And then, Peter, you asked them what production was like 5 years ago versus today, and Corrado just kind of like scoffed. He was like, so much more. He was like exponential. He said many millions today versus what they could do.
I think the fireworks culture has shifted a little bit in Italy. They do shoot a lot more fireworks at different times of year than we do. But they used to be very much steeped in the tradition of manufacturing and shooting Italian fireworks in Italy for all these festivals. From what I understand, budgetary concerns have made that more difficult now. So they've actually shifted to using some Chinese imported fireworks for their shows in Italy. And because of that, Marco has had to start making his fireworks more available for export in order to keep his factory going. And I think that's been the big difference maker for him. Instead of making a small number of products for a display, he makes a huge number of products for export now compared to what he used to make. So his production has grown a lot. You can see every time, I mean, I've been there now 3 times, and every time I go back, he's got more people making more stuff in more places. He's got more process buildings open. It's really incredible. It's very, very cool to see him growing and see the appreciation for the product growing.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of asked them how their fireworks business has impacted their community and what the sentiments were like among their neighbors of, having a fireworks facility within so many miles of their downtown area, and what their neighbors kind of thought about it.
They are proud of it. They are okay with it, mostly because it's the oldest activity that is in the town. Mm-hmm. So we are talking about the beginning of 20th century. So. Yeah. It's a lot of time. And then we were talking with Marco's father, saying that people are very astonished how the business has grown up from their small production that they do with his wife, and then Marco with the new production and the new customer made an activity that had known Giuliani and Tofia all around the world. When they make tests, people are very happy because they have fireworks for free.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Marco.
He prefers that other people talk about him.
He's a very humble guy that way.
He is. But that's okay, because we had his mother there. We also got to sit down with his mother that same evening. Gianna, she also speaks primarily Italian, so we had our lovely tour guide Damiana translating for us, and they gave the history of Giuliani Fireworks and how Marco started getting involved.
Però diciamo noi eravamo Marcelli prima, no? Quelli ha spiegato Marco.
Okay, she says that before we were Marcelli. So she says that I have to tell the story of the Marcelli family because that's where it starts.
Allora, io sono nata in mezzo ai fuochi.
When she was practically born with the fireworks. Her father and the grandfather, they used to supply, especially at the festivals and the towns around. And then, of course, her father unfortunately died very young. So when he died with her husband, they decided to continue, the tradition and continue the work. Ho detto che avete continuato voi quando è morto il papà giovane.
Sì, sì.
Mm-hmm. And then Marco was very attentive, and he was very intrigued by these fireworks, and so he wanted to continue as well the family tradition of the fireworks. And once Marco decided to take over, then of course he wants to expand in different directions.
It's a fireworks family through and through. You can definitely see the obsession in Marco's eyes at all times. He's thinking about coming up with new things and producing more awesome fireworks at the factory. And it's very cool what they've done for their local community. They are one of the bigger employers there. Tofia is a very quiet village, not really touched by tourism much or anything like that. And they're all very proud to have like a hometown hero factory there. They're also very proud of their olives and their olive oil.
So proud. Yeah, I even have a clip of that as well. We'll talk about in a bit. We asked Gianna how old Marco was when he started, and she basically said, just like me, he was always involved. She said that when Marco was a baby, he was actually afraid of fireworks. And to get him to not be afraid of fireworks, his grandfather, her father, would take him around just to get used to it.
Even at the age of 14, he was already putting together the fireworks. He was always in that, so he knew how to do everything. Because it's a family business and you're involved as a child and you continue. I mean, it's not even a job anymore. It's practically, for him, it's his passion.
So, Marco, you are the current owner of Giuliani Fireworks. Would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Questa attività è un'attività fatta innanzitutto di grandi responsabilità.
He has a very big responsibility because every day people are working with dangerous and explosive substance, and he requires a very big mental effort.
And do fireworks have any special meaning for Marco?
Allora, sicuramente ho una passione, a me mi è nata.
So it's a passion. The first word that he told is passion, and he likes this work with this word to explain his matter in fireworks. And it's not an obsession, but it's a really passion.
Not an obsession.
Not an obsession.
Okay.
But a passion.
Corrado, I'd like to ask you what you notice about Marco's approach towards fireworks.
I met him as a customer when I was working in another company, and I already saw that he was different from the other pyrotechnical because he was very reflexive. He's clever in the field, and he wants to produce something different from other. He enjoys very much when he sees his product in big shows all around the world.
Gianna told us that Marco, of course, was the first boy in a couple generations. And as any Italian family, that was, very exciting for them.
How do you feel about Marco taking over the factory, taking over the family business? Are you proud of him? Are you worried about him? How do you feel?
In the beginning, she wasn't very happy, but only for one reason. She was very worried, with this type of job. She would have wanted something different for him. Just like any parent,
What would you have wanted?
E cosa avresti voluto, mi ha detto?
Beh, lui ha fatto fino al secondo anno di architettura, quindi andava all'università.
He was continuing university, and he was up to the second year of architecture, so she would have wanted to continue with architecture, but then he decided he wanted to continue the family business. And at that point, they gave the support and also the industry for him. He also said, being a young person with other visions, other views, he could expand it in a different way than the traditional way maybe that the elders did in the past. They're very proud of him. That is the most important thing.
It sounds like they did a great job raising and supporting him.
And we think it's a fantastic choice that he stuck with fireworks.
So they're very happy. If he's happy, we're happy.
As you heard, his family had other plans for him. They were hoping for perhaps other things, but I mean, once it's in your blood, it's in your blood, and I can say that he's very good at it, and he takes it very seriously. So it's very cool to see him keeping that tradition going. I wonder, Marco, outside of fireworks, what do you do for fun?
2022 was very busy for Giuliani. So before he was running, he was skiing, he had fun, but last year was full immersion dedicated to production. And he's a little bit sad about it. He would like to have a little bit more time to dedicate to his other enjoyment and his wife too. He got married a year ago, and since a year also his wife, Chiara, is collaborating on this activity.
What are you doing to celebrate your 1-year anniversary?
A 24 inches shell he will make.
24-inch shell.
Oh, that's special.
This is a new project. Giuliani project is a 24 inches shell.
Wow, 24-inch. Have you fired any 24-inch shells?
Not
already?
yet.
Not yet. 16 is the largest so far?
Yeah.
16. Nice. Yep, exactly what every first-year anniversary wife dreams of is a 24-inch shell for their anniversary.
That's right. I mean, I wouldn't complain. I'm pretty jealous that we weren't able to see it. Obviously, they just had the shell, but that was awesome.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. I've not seen in person his 16-inch shells, but I've seen a few of the videos, and they're phenomenal. It's really difficult as you size up in shells, as you scale up, to get the physics to act correctly and kind of get that shell to burst in a round pattern, and to get all the stars to ignite and to get everything to work properly. It gets more difficult as you scale up, and His 16-inch shells are phenomenal. This was his first foray into 24-inch shells, but I have a good feeling he's going to be able to nail it pretty well.
However it turns out, it's going to be phenomenal. And Chiara will be ecstatic, of course.
Of course,
Like,
yeah.
now you're
absolutely.
done. Now we can hang out, right?
You can go help me take down the tube, I guess.
Speaking of Marco's other hobbies and the other hobbies in the family, they produce their own olive oil.
They do. They do. Not only do they produce their own olive oil, but it's a damn good olive oil.
1,500 plants of olive.
Si produce circa
The best here is 400 liters, but is not every year is the same production.
Describe the flavor.
It's tasty, fruit, and a little bit strong.
Where do the olive trees grow? Where?
Everywhere.
No, beh,
Everywhere.
non
In
voglio
Sabina, the region where Tofia is very important for olive oil in the center of Italy. There is a lot of places in Italy with good olive oil. One of the best is here in Sabina,
And why does Marco make his own oil?
because he has 1,500 plants.
So he's very proud of his olive oil.
Of course, it's more prouder of the olive oil than the fireworks. Siete più orgoglioso dell'olio che dei fuochi.
It is some damn good olive oil. According to them, it is the best olive oil.
That's right.
We did go, of course, in our travels, every family seemed to have the best olive oil, but I believed it every single time.
Me too. It's crazy, but every house in Italy that grows their own olives does indeed have the best olive oil. It's remarkable.
Yeah, so we each got to go home with a liter of special Giuliani olive oil. And
We did.
no, it's not for sale.
No, that is
Keeping
not
mine.
available at 76 Pro Line Italia or anywhere else. I'm afraid you'll have to go buy a container of fireworks from Marco in order to get a liter of olive oil. That's the deal.
Yeah, if you ask nicely, he might just slip one onto your container.
He might, but it is very good. We did sample it while we were there. It's delicious. Totally different than any olive oil you'd just buy in a grocery store here in the United States.
It's tasty.
It's very tasty.
No, we're not just saying that. It was really, really good olive oil. We were like, yeah, fireworks. Yeah, let's eat. That was the gist of our trip.
Very embedded in that culture, right? Even just olive oils or fruit that you have growing on your property or vegetables or anything like that. Everybody tries to do the best they can and produce the best product they can. In Italy, it doesn't really make sense to make a lot of something if it's not good. They would much rather have a little of something that's outstanding. And so that's what Giuliani Fireworks is a little bit of fireworks that are absolutely outstanding. Because why do it any other way? It doesn't make sense to make a bunch of junk. So it's a beautiful thing, and we're very happy to be working with them.
This is why they're such premium products.
That's
They
it.
are all handcrafted and extremely particular and immaculate. Such amazing production there. You can expect more content from our visit to Giuliani Fireworks and our other Italian adventures coming out soon. That includes an exclusive facility tour, which will be published to our YouTube channel very soon, and that demo that we spoke about. Peter, do you want to talk on, some products coming up from Giuliani?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys saw, 76 Pro Line Italia debuted last year with some comets and mines. We started off with a pretty straightforward order. We are going to be adding more effects, more of the stuff that they're very good at making in Italy. Things like the tourbillon type effects, a lot more of their strobes, a few more of their single shot shells, more comets, more mines. All that stuff is coming for 76 Pro Line Italia. We'll be rolling it out. Some products this spring, some products in the fall, some more products next year. Also, for those of you who are in the display business and are looking for some very premium 1.3G products, we are about to debut a list. It's a very, very, very limited quantity of products that are going to be made available, but I'll be in contact with some folks here very shortly, and we should see some Giuliani shells stateside coming soon. I'm really excited to just see these at like events or see them in some major shows. They are premium products. Obviously, you're not going to see an entire show of only Giuliani Fireworks, but it's a really good way to put an exclamation point on your shows and do some scenes that really make you stand out from the competition. So we're very excited to bring that over. I know we keep putting out coming soon, but there's a lot of work that has to happen behind the scenes for a product launch like this. It's not as simple as just going over there and buying some fireworks. So we're working on it. We're making it all happen. And we're super excited to have more Giuliani and 76 Pro Line Italia products stateside very soon.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. This is our first episode. I want to put something on your calendar, our spring demo, April 22nd. Everyone is invited. If you're listening, come out.
Please do.
It's in Columbia, Missouri. We're going to have a full evening of shooting fireworks out in the field behind the Midway Antique Mall. We're going to have maybe 50 items, and then just like every year when we do these demos, we have our fireworks club showdown between the local clubs, K-Cap and Mo Pyro, and that is always a phenomenal show.
You got it. And the two clubs are already working on their shows. They've been going at it for a couple of weeks already, getting stuff ready. We're super excited to see all of our customers, all of our new customers. If you're just looking for something awesome to do in the fireworks world, April 22nd, come on down to Columbia, Missouri. You're more than welcome. Bring your friends, bring your family. We're going to have an awesome time with some fireworks, see some awesome shows. And we can't wait to see everybody. It's so nice to be doing these events again. It's really, really cool.
I know, yeah. So please let us know if you can make it. 76fireworks.com/demo has all the information and a registration link. We'll also be doing a shooter's training that day as well, and the information and link to that is at that link as well, 76fireworks.com/demo. We hope to see you in April 22nd.
We expect to see every single one of you there.
That's right. Thank you again for joining us. Now we're off to Western Winter Blast, aren't we,
That's
Peter?
right. Yeah, Winter Blast next stop. Look for an episode from Winter Blast coming very soon. We've got some really cool interviews lined up there too. Can't wait to do those. And if you like this podcast, please, 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 please share it with anybody you think would like it, anybody in the fireworks world. And give us your feedback. We're curious to see if there's anything that you guys want to see or hear or have done in the future.
All right, well, that wraps up our very first episode. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Sam.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been BoomCast.